broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello everyone and welcome to another NXT After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Kathy Kelly. Joining me, as always, the other two of the NXT team.
We're the other
True
two.
Hobo.
The other two.
Two.
We have really risen through the ranks to arrive at the other two. We have made it so far, you guys. So far.
The three of us round out the team.
Right. Yes. But we're just the other two. It's the
Kathy Kelly and the other two.
NXT review featuring Kathy Kelly, including...
My name is Mark Donica. Nobody said it. Nobody said that part. I am the internet Soapbox Mark Donica, and you can find me on Twitter at Soapbox Mark. I'm going to be in chat, and I'm going to also be on Twitter using the hashtag ABTVNXT. We got a lot to talk about, and I must say, Apollo Crews' music is very...
Makes us want to do robot dances.
For some reason, I don't know why.
I can't stop smiling, you guys. I can't stop. Oh, God, it hurts. It hurts so bad.
Anyways, this was the first taping after the Respect. Mark's still doing the Apollo.
Yeah. Wow. Look at this set.
All right, I'm good.
It looks like a... Know what it looks like?
Huh.
A robot chicken.
Terrible. Terrible.
Well, you're...
Terrible.
You're like... Anyways.
Yep.
That was for Steven.
This is the first of the episodes of the taping right after the Respect
Takeover.
Yes.
Takeover.
The special.
Yes. We got a lot of heat from people for the Respect Takeover after show.
Not real, like for a lot of the fans, but a lot of the other people that I talked to,
the people that matter
other two?
actually liked
like
it.
people that I've talked to in real life, as opposed to we've gotten kind of half and half. On YouTube, we've gotten a lot of "you're a joke" and a lot of that one just really popped out at me.
And this is one of those things that it's what we said last week is we were getting super nitpicky. Obviously, it was a great show. Like I would say, it's a 9.9 out of 10 for me.
Pretty good. Pretty damn good show.
So we were super nitpicky, and I was having a bad day, so that might have swayed some of it. But overall, like, we love this product.
Yeah.
Don't get us wrong.
Absolutely.
I mean, but that's also what we're here for. Would you listen to 40 minutes of us going, "Oh, that was great. Oh, dude." When that thing happened, oh, that was good. That was so great. Let's not talk about it any further other than saying that it's good.
Why can't we be nuanced? Like, why can't we like things and dislike things? Does everything have to be one note? I know you said it the other day when it was relating to something else, but it's either you have to love it or, damn it, you have to hate it, you cannot do both.
I'll tell you exactly what it was. It was relating to the Star Wars prequels. You have to hate them or love them, and you can't be nuanced in any way.
Right.
Which I just learned.
It's
in
not just okay.
In the promo section at the end of the show, I will definitely go into that a little bit further.
Well, let's get into this episode.
Let's.
I'm holding my notes up like this so that I do not disturb the mic. Bailey,
Praise the Apollo.
The women's champ, comes out with her title. Immediately a match of the year chance. And she says on the mic, the whole pay-per-view last week made history, but she wants to make women's wrestling respected. And I think that her and the other women down at NXT and even some of the divas on the main roster are doing just that.
Including Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Yeah! Called it!
So, who was it that we wanted to face Bailey?
Alexa Bliss!
And who's facing Bailey?
We don't know yet, actually. They haven't for sure determined.
I mean, she put in a good bid.
That Alexa is definitely next in line.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
And it was a great promo because it was a similar thing to what Sasha did after Brooklyn, but a little bit more Alexa style. It was like, thank you from all of us, thank you. But no, and then her man's.
I love the mood of it too, because Bailey's just standing there going, "What do you want?" All the compliments, she does not take them for a second. It's just, "What do you want? Why are you here? What's about to happen?"
Yep.
And it's just set the tone, and then Alexa just really slips the belt right out of her hands. It was really a triangulated and coordinated attack to cut off the champion.
Yeah, with
from
Alexa
the belt.
and the other two.
The other two.
And
Yes. They are certainly the other two.
In this situation.
Gonna make fun of me for that.
Sure.
But yeah, so excited that it is Alexa Bliss because we heard rumors that it was going to be Eva Marie next or Dana Brooke next. But I really do think that Alexa deserves this spot. And it wouldn't make Bailey look weak either because she has two guys to back her up.
She's actually got to climb uphill. She's got almost to beat 3 people. But we don't know in what capacity Blake and Murphy are going to be used because you can't imagine them getting involved against Bailey because it's
actively.
Just right. So what are they going to do? Obviously,
Ref
they
interference.
sort of right. I mean, they could do everything else except get directly involved. And I really liked what Alexa said in this. That made it sort of solidified that her idea and the separation was, you aren't meant to be this, meaning championship. Bailey wasn't meant to actually achieve everything, and that kind of got me a little bit. That was a personal jam, and I think that's one of those lines, man. That
It
starts
feels real.
a war. Yeah.
It definitely does. And then I actually got a tweet from someone, I forget who it was, but they said that it was disrespectful of Alexa to throw the title back at Bailey.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it was disrespectful towards the title belt, not towards Bailey,
both.
of course, but
Well, why
also
would,
makes her more of a
why
heel,
would
which is
Alexa
great.
approach her? She has to toss her the belt. If she gets close enough, Bailey's going to lock in a belly-to-belly, and that's going to be it. She's going to be
her
sprawled out in the middle of the ring. She's smarter than that. She's obviously come in here with a plan and an idea of what she needs to do to beat the champion and get the belt. So she's not going to misstep and get caught all of a sudden. No, she's smart.
she says the next time she tries to take the belt, it'll be that much easier.
Boom!
She kind of laid the foundation for those words to actually mean something.
Yeah.
Most people just kind of go, yeah, right, let's see you back that up. Now she's kind of, she's a threat. She's a viable threat. And that's something I really look forward to watching.
Definitely.
A lot of promise here.
Back.
But really, last thing, really, I still kind of find it a problem that Blake and Murphy and Alexa don't have any shirts. Because it was cool. I mean, they were wearing the NXT shirts, and that was cool. But it's like you wanna wear your emblem. You wanna put your coat of arms on to go into battle on a level like this.
And
so,
you would think that their characters would have had a shirt by now, too.
seriously, and as
Honestly,
champions,
You just need a shirt that says "We are BAMF."
yeah.
Come on, that's so easy. That's such an easy sell.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows the hell that stands for. We're
Because
all
you wear
adults,
that,
most of us.
because like this, like even Bailey's, I'm a hugger. That's very general, and then
Right.
you get the Bailey part on the back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I lent him my shirt this week.
that's not true at all.
It's gonna get really.
You're stretching it out, Mark.
That's the thing. It would be a lot tighter on my skin.
That's why he's wearing 2 shirts, because you cut off the sleeves on the other one.
Yeah, I didn't want to be that.
He
embarrassed.
doesn't want to have
Exposed.
the open shoulders. I don't mind. I actually decided to wear sleeves today.
That's new. That's different for you.
I
Just
know.
return it when you're
My
done,
arms are so
please.
big and they're so uncomfortable in
You didn't.
sleeves.
You didn't.
It's true.
Where's your cream? Is it rising on the top?
Always the top.
Yeah.
Backstage last week, Finn and Joe and Regal. Regal congratulates Finn and Joe on winning the Dusty Classic. I loved how in the background of this entire segment you could hear the crowd chanting
Sasha's
for
ratchet.
Sasha and Bailey. It was great. But had you not had, or the addition of that makes it feel that much more real too, because you know that it's actually happening right after their match, as opposed to taped.
Or before.
Well, yeah. I mean, television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regal congratulates them, and then Joe says that he's happy that they won, but he came here for one reason and one reason only. That is because he wants a shot at the NXT title. Finn says he deserves it, and as his friend, he's willing to grant him that opportunity. But then Regal announces that a battle royale for the #1 contendership is going to happen next week, aka tonight.
That threw me off. The time was like, this was taking place in the past, but we're talking about next week, which is now. Okay, oh, right. I got it.
You shouldn't watch Back to the Future. It'll probably really confuse you.
Watch what?
Back to the Future?
What is
it's a
that?
Film. It's a series of films about time travel.
What?
Yes, there are 3 films in the series.
How does anybody follow that?
They actually made it pretty easily.
Let's
Really?
get back to
Damn
the
it.
show.
Okay.
So what do you think of the announcement of the battle royale in the first place?
Well, I mean, I brought it up on the show last
Yeah.
week. It was fine, and it gave a little bit more of a character. It kind of made it. Oh, Joe's gonna win the battle royal because they put him in the front line.
I am sticking to what I said last week. I still wish that Joe had turned on Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
And
I
that's
mean-
just an opinion. A lot of people think that the way that they did it was great because it really did honor Dusty. I think that it also would have honored Dusty to have this in the first place, and then afterwards, or even this week, had Joe turn on Finn.
Yeah, it's just kind of they obviously changed direction drastically, like midstream. We all thought it was going this one way. We took a huge left turn, and now we have a battle royal. That doesn't seem quite in line with what was happening, but okay, we have a battle royal.
We'll talk about this later, I guess. But who is Joe's next target then?
We know.
Is it? Oh.
We'll talk about it during the battle royal. They kind of made it clear
Yeah.
during the battle royal.
That's.
As of this promo, it's winning the #1 contendership battle royal.
Right.
Backstage, we get a bunch of quick promos from the guys after the announcement. Ty Dillinger says there's only one #1 contender and only one perfect 10.
I mean, he
ruined our shot. I'm sorry.
establishes the number. It's a 22-man battle royal.
Yep.
A nice, fairly even number. I guess it's just all the guys that you could put on TV.
Flippin' Steve Cutler was in it. I saw him and Rawless, or whatever his new name is, because he has a different name.
He does?
Or it was somebody else.
I like Flawless.
Somebody who looks like. There's too many perfect people. That's what I was gonna bring up in there. But I liked all of these, but Apollo's. Apollo's was very much. Tonight there's a match. I'm gonna win that match, and when I win that match, I will be the winner of that match.
That's a bold statement.
That is a statement from Apollo Crews.
Well, it was, yeah.
It was the same thing with Barons later in the night. They were both very much. Tonight there's gonna be a match, and I'm gonna win that match. And
then
when I win that match, I'm gonna win another
NXT
match.
champion.
Yep. Yeah, even Rhino, he's not always the best promo guy.
No,
but, he
but this one hit.
He got interesting. Like, he actually managed to sort of string it together, and it got interesting. I'm like, oh,
He was the
right.
last general of a revolution, and now he wants to lead this one.
I'm like, oh,
that's great.
That's cool. That's
That
a
makes
good
sense.
line.
It tells your story. There's a reason behind it. But you know what?
Dips into history.
Motivation.
I think that on this show, we're going to talk about some wrestling. And then afterwards, it's going to be uploaded. And eventually, people may or may not listen to it.
Sorry, not gonna upload it.
Ah, damn it.
See, but in the case of these promos, it was definitely Apollo and the other two.
Yep.
Next up, we have the first match of the night, the Vaudevillains versus Angelo Dawkins and Sawyer
And
Fulton.
Skunkhead.
You know what? He's got a new look. I like
does.
this better
It's
than
memorable.
whatever the hell it
It
was. Like,
I
seriously.
It took me a little while to go, oh, that's a tattoo.
Yes.
He got
no,
the Irish cross tattoo.
He's
on
always
his-
had that.
I
It's
ju-
just not been visible
Yeah.
until now. He's not wearing a shirt. But he looked really different in this.
Mark.
I liked him so much more.
How much money? What is the number that you would need to have your hair like his?
Exactly like his? No.
No
amount of money.
Yeah, probably. A couple million, maybe. I don't know.
What?
Jesus Christ! Are you insane?
Well, how long would I have to keep that look?
A year.
For $2 million, you'd have to keep it for the rest of your damn life.
No, $5 million. Not a fan of the skunking. You don't do most things.
I'll do it for 10,000.
Yeah, I'll do it for $10. I'll do it for a cup of coffee and a cheeseburger.
Screw that. Give me a beer.
What do you guys think of this match, though? Or were you too distracted by the hair?
No, I liked it. Dawkins is very much like a pseudo LeBron James. Like, if he were a wrestler and a goofball, he would be Angelo Dawkins. And Fulton, he looked so tough in this. What a tough guy. Mm-hmm. I liked him better, and he seemed to really get into everything that he did. Looked clean and mean, and I liked him for that.
Clean and mean.
I just don't see these two as a tag team.
Clean and mean is the opposite of the hobo.
I guess I'm nice. I can get mean sometimes.
Yeah. You don't want him to.
No, you don't like me when I'm mean.
So good. You should
clean.
You should patent that.
What do you think, Mark?
I liked the match for what it was. There was a post-match interview with Dawkins and Fulton that shows some dissent between the two.
I was just going to say that. They don't have a matching look anymore. I can't imagine them being a tag team for very much longer. Mm-hmm. Here we are.
Yeah. But I've always been a fan of Dawkins. Fulton has kind of come along as Dawkins' backup for me because I've always liked Angelo.
I don't know. Dawkins has got more character, but in the ring he doesn't stand out as well.
He stands out because he's a flippin' giant.
Well, yeah. But, we're in the land of giants. WWE signs anybody who's over 6'3".
Cool, I have a possibility.
You do.
I think that it's better for them to split, but I don't think they had enough hype as a tag team. Hopefully this means that they're going super hard to establish them
They
as
should
singles.
get hyped.
I know they should stay hyped.
Stay at that level. Right there.
Backstage, Devin Taylor says that was an impressive victory for the Vaudevillains. Oh, I should mention that they won with Whirling Dervish.
We did.
Quite manly.
Dawson and Dash joined her, and they think that they should be the #1 contenders for the tag title since they won over the Vaudevillains during one of the shows in Texas during the Dusty Classic. Then they said, unfortunately, the cards are dealt, and their cards are Cass and Enzo.
I thought this was a great promo.
It was great.
These two guys they gel so well. You really know they spend a lot of time together.
Good back and forth.
Absolutely. Some of the best. And them versus Cass and Enzo, that's really something to look forward to. I think those are just two...
Do you think we'll finally see the spot?
No.
No? Even for this? Something like this, now that there's something on the line?
They gotta save it. You gotta have something for the live crowd and something for TV, and sometimes you never get to see both of them in the same place at the same time.
You're a monster.
For those that don't know what spot you're alluding to...
I will not say what it is so that everybody can be surprised. But it's one of the most comedic and entertaining tag team spots that you will see, and you'll probably know if you see it.
It was pretty great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was right after we interviewed him, too. So it was even better.
Those two guys, man. There's something about them.
Dash and Dawson.
Everybody keeps putting them over, and then you see them, and they sort of do it for themselves, and you go, well, I see what everybody was doing.
Finally, they get the chance to show themselves.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We get one last Nia Jax promo before her debut on this episode. Then we go into a recap of Dana and Asuka's match from TakeOver Respect. Dana is getting medical attention. Asuka feigns sympathy and then pats her on the head, scares Emma, walks away. Dana is still kind of out of it and just really happy with herself because she thinks that she beat Asuka.
Well, nobody tell her she didn't, because you want to keep that up. Don't want her to get sad and be in the hospital.
Sad spittle.
Sad spittle. Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll see more of that feud in the future.
Maybe.
It'll probably.
I think that
Develop
Asuka's
or not,
probably going
I
to
don't
take
know.
on Emma in the near future.
I think this
assume.
is supposed to tide us over until next week.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
But sure, this isn't exactly new to us, but for everybody else, this is what we were talking about last week with
Yeah.
the backstage, yada yada. So.
Evie comes to the ring.
From New Zealand.
New Zealand signee. And she faces Nia Jax. Evie
2
gets
debuts in 1 match.
yeah.
Hot
Cool.
damn. Poor Evie.
So Evie gets a few kicks in. Nia is just a powerhouse though, and destroys her.
She, I like this addition. I think this is what has been missing from the women's division for a while.
Monster heel.
Not well, a monster heel, but a heavyweight.
Yeah.
She's not a real heel. Everything she did was kind of cool. Like it was appealing. She didn't really establish herself as a heel. She was just friggin' powerful. So she's just a heavyweight, and I think that's what's missing is some diversity in the team. I think she's pretty, which is great because they're not gonna really look at anybody who isn't pretty.
Her face is stunning.
She's really and she's built like a Mack truck.
I mean, they said, when's the last time that we saw a female do a bear hug?
Karma.
Yeah.
I mean, that was.
Yeah.
I mean, there's your answer. I'm kind of sad that they toned her look down a bit. From all of the live shows where she was wearing kind of like the armor look, sort of a thing, a little bit more Japanese. I was a big fan of that. So when she came out in just kind of a bodysuit, I was like, oh, that's all
Go
right.
uphill. Eventually,
She'll get
to that.
Or maybe
big
that's
match.
something that's special that's only going to be,
The
you know...
takeover thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, I can see
And
that.
we haven't seen her on one of those yet, obviously. So... anything else you want to mention from this match? Kind of breezed over it.
Evie tried. She really
She
did.
really tried. Crowd was behind her, but Nia Jax is just too much. And that finisher, spinebuster.
Yeah.
I've been on the business end of that a few times. That really rocks you. I don't like that one. That's
like
not fun.
It's almost like an STO slam.
Kind of,
But
yeah.
it's a
But
spinebuster.
it's
STO spinebuster.
yeah. It just the ring just doesn't help you at all.
No, that was just
yeah.
flat like a pole.
So, in the past, we've talked about how we thought that she was going to be paired with Eva Marie. Do you see that moving forward now, or...
Depends on her next match. Like you said, I see her as a monster heel just because of
I'd rather
of how
see her
she's
on
been.
her own, yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see her on her own. There's nothing yet that indicates that would happen. We already have a diva duo. So if that breaks up, then there's maybe a place for another heel diva duo. But for right now,
If we could build up Asuka and Nia Jax sort of individually going forward, and then have them clash at some point, that'd be a big match. If you just do it right, keep them away from each other just long enough until you get that match, and that'll be hot. That's a hot ticket.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
dug it, liked it. It was great, fantastic.
And WWE has fulfilled their Simone quota.
Yeah. we needed
related to
one
the-
down there. Damn it.
She a part of the Analyze? All right, yeah, bring her in. Not to discredit her talent whatsoever.
No, but it's
Not at all.
kind of in their blood at this point.
It is.
Like literally.
It's hard to get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so ingrained.
It's going against the grain if you aren't in the wrestling business.
Literally,
She's not
literally.
Canadian.
I am
She's
the-
from San Diego. She's weird. I had no idea.
not close to Canada. I found out
Not close to
hard
Canada.
way. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so...
But now we just turned into Kathy Kelly and the yeahs.
We get a couple more promos of guys talking about the Battle Royale. We see Tyler Breeze. He says he deserves a shot at the #1 contender spot. And then Baron Corbin says that he'll be the last one standing because he's a lone wolf. We jump to a video all the way from Paris.
I loved this so much. What a jerk.
Bonjour from Eva Marie.
I just needed a little bit of me. I needed to take some time off.
Me time.
I know I just came back, but
I've been working so hard.
I deserved this. What a bitch.
Why won't you guys like her?
No, Hobo, we love her.
I mean, we know that
no matter what she does,
that is
we
for
love her.
Total
because
Divas.
she came into the studio and we're biased.
But that is for Total Divas. And they're
Dale
all out
missed
there.
them by like 2 days.
Did he really?
He was in Paris. He's like, oh, of course Total Divas comes the day I leave.
Yeah. But a bunch of people are down there, or over there.
Down there, over there, in there, out there.
The land down under there.
I'm sure
Underwear.
she'll be back.
Just made him say underwear.
Eventually.
This was so great. Like they really want people to hate her.
It's working.
It's working so well. But like it's like, oh cool, she's just giving us a thing. I felt I needed some me time. Okay, that crossed it.
We've done it. We've gone full heel. There is no going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, my goodness.
So, the Battle Royale for the #1 contendership.
Yep.
No notes?
The CF Battle Royal.
I used a technical term.
There is one. There is a
The
really.
inside.
It was
I wonder
that
if
to
anybody,
begin with.
if anybody picked up on the note that I did. One of my least favorite moments of this battle royal was the mechanics, or Dash and Dawson were working together for most of the match.
Sure.
There was a part that was right front and center on camera where Dawson was was beating up on Samoa Joe, and Dash was just started to walk away. Joe reverses on Dawson. Dash turns around and is like, "Oh, okay," and then he walks off. It's like, no, that's your partner. Like, you gotta help your like, no matter what. No, even if this is all like, all right, whatever, as battle royals are.
It's
so hard to get any sort of a thing in. But if you see, if you're in a tag team,
none of this matters.
if you're in a tag team, and the point of the match was to show how well you guys work as a tag team, you can't drop that for anything. And one could argue, oh, I got a little gold hungry or whatever, but it's still like, aside from that, the entire match they were working side by side with each other.
Momentary lapse in judgment.
Just a technical note, gentlemen.
They did stress many times on commentary that anything goes in a battle royale. There are no allegiances, even if your tag partner's in the ring. And we saw that with Corbin and Rhino, who have been teaming lately.
Hey, bud.
Corbin eliminated Rhino.
I'm so surprised.
The lone wolf doesn't help someone.
Oh my.
I'm so surprised.
We couldn't have opened a zoo. We almost had a zoo. We had a wolf and a rhino. If we had one more.
We had a bull.
A bull. We almost had a zoo, guys.
I like the commentary where it was like, if Bullfit works, why is he wearing a t-shirt? He's trying to sell some shirts.
Gotta sell your stuff,
Gotta sell
man.
your stuff, come on.
You know this.
And he wasn't the only person in there wearing his gear. Like Corbin was wearing his thing, whatever. So I mean, this went as well as one would expect for a battle royal.
A fluster clock.
A lot of stuff happened that we probably missed. It went to commercial, and it seemed like nothing happened except Tommaso Ciampa got kicked out.
Gargano, Ciampa.
It was nice to see that. It's nice to see them in it.
And we'll talk about the
Cutler,
Evolve news, I'm sure, after this.
I'm sure.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk about that. Anyways, Corbin versus Cruz are the final two.
Final four were
It was the Battle of the Blands. It's the Battle of the Blands, these
Battle
two.
of the Blands. We like you guys.
We do.
We just want...
You're so
more.
amazing. We met so many people in Brooklyn, and they were wonderful people. That's why it's like, show us something. Show us some character. We see all the physical stuff.
The only reason why we're being so critical of it is because we know what they're capable of. That's
why people say
it's
that
like,
we were biased towards Bull, but it's like, look at what this guy can do.
We can see things.
We were a little bit critical before when it was the, undefeated guy winning with little to no effort. But now he's created a character, and it's incredible. Like, whatever it was, he broke out of that shell or whatever they had him doing, and it's working now. And I think that with Corbin, he's shown a lot of changes over the last month, which we've all been on board with. And Cruz is at the beginning of that, but
Yeah.
they're pushing him so hard right now.
He's got to have somebody to talk for him, or he's got to find his character.
Right.
Because it's great that you have like even Tommaso and Gargano, like they're physically peak, and they also have the character of being the underdogs, of being the outsiders, and just that minor little thing helps them with their speaking. Apollo has been, look at this great thing. Even his intro video, I am here to be a champion. All that stuff is like, it's all just destiny. And if even some do that. It's like, it's my destiny, where you're just so full of yourself, and it's just like, it's written in the cards, it's written in the stars, this, that, the other thing.
There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing, you can't avoid it. Apollo Crews is here to stay.
All of that is such horrible heel stuff, though.
It is.
I know.
Like, what can we
I
do
can't
to make
see him
connect with people?
I can't see him not being a heel moving into this matchup, because
Absolutely.
being the #1 contender so soon, and fans, I'm sure, us and the people there, and I think even people on Twitter have been kind of feeling like he's one of the ones that they're forcing down our throats, as far as, you have to like this guy. And
I think this will be a TV defense, though.
You don't think this will make it to a takeover?
I mean, we got December.
yeah.
Okay, good point.
But
Yeah,
they didn't
know.
say it was for a title match at TakeOver. They said
No,
that
I
this
think
is,
it has to be.
this could be next. I think this could be next week or the week after.
I would say it was either this set of tapings or the next set of tapings.
And then something happens during the match to set up either a bigger match between the two, or adding a third person.
Something to make it interesting.
Yeah, there was somebody in the chat. I just want to make sure that I get their name right. Quad Wrestling Fan 22 said he wants to see Finn turn heel in England, which I don't think is out of the realm of possibility.
Or-
I think it is close to impossible.
What if Samoa Joe tries to cost Finn the title during the match so that he can potentially face Apollo Crews, because
Instead.
he thinks that Finn would be the harder competitor?
I think due to
I just really want to see Joe turn.
yeah, I know, due to Breeze's elimination and the crowd totally turning on Joe, and then Breeze causing Joe to be eliminated, I think they're setting up those two at least for a match. I think of a fatal. I know we've already seen it as a main event, but a fatal 4-way with Breeze, Crews, Joe, and Finn.
We haven't seen it in a year.
Yeah,
It's new.
It's been a while there.
I mean, it's like the 2 out of 3 falls match at NXT. It's like, oh, we're bringing this one back. So I don't know. I think that fatal 4-way could be fun.
It's so funny to me that the crowd's going crazy for Breeze. But of course,
Because he's losing.
no, right. That's what do I always say? You lose your way to the top.
Yep.
The crowd is forced by everything in their marrow to cheer for Breeze now, because he just keeps losing.
Yeah.
They have no choice to go, I want to see Breeze, damn it. Come on, win one, man. It's like the Cubs. You have to cheer for the Cubs. You may not even like them, but you have to cheer for them. Come on, you can do this. I believe in you. It's like cheering a child to walk for the first time, or somebody who's in a wheelchair. Come on, do
Yeah.
it. Just,
So somebody brings this up in the chat. This is Shiny Diver. So how does Apollo coming in compare to a Kevin Owens coming in?
Kevin Owens is relatable. Kevin Owens had a monster character. He had
Kevin
complete-
Owens is also one of the 0.001% who can just talk, even if he's not given anything to talk about. And that's
rules
not.
Twitter with an iron fist.
He's so in
He
character,
has a
and
blanket
like,
now.
I don't think that most of the population of the world is ready to do that, but this, like, wrestling, the people that are down at NXT being the 0.1% of people who are able to entertain, or are entertaining enough to be on television, he's even the top of that game as far as mic skills go.
Okay. And in that same vein, Apollo Crews is
Clearly my mic skills aren't there.
maddening. Apollo Crews is maddeningly perfect in the ring and amazing and wonderful, and he does great performances. Some might say Finn Balor as well has maybe not
best
necessarily
technical
perfect
wrestler,
but amazing in the ring, not as strong on the mic as well.
Even
how would you compare?
The promo with Joe, he fumbled a little bit. He's not there with the promo skills.
So how would you compare those two in that regard? That they're similar in that. How is Finn so likable? Is it just the demon, or what is it?
I think it's his personality. Just what we've seen from
personality? Because now he sort of has three. He's got, Fergal Devitt. Then he's got Finn Balor. Then he's got the demon.
Yeah.
You got the three. Like he needs to kind of figure something out. Pour more into one.
What's likable about him is the Fergal Devitt promos.
Right.
Like that is someone that is so relatable. Like, it's hard not to like that person, and especially when you hear from every single wrestler on the roster, from Becky Lynch, who everyone loves, Sami Zayn, all these people saying that he's the nicest human being to them. Like, why?
So here's what I think. Here's what I'm gathering from everything is we don't know anything about Cruz yet. We don't know who he is. We just know that he's there to be a champion, because that was in his. Once we know a little bit more about him, we can get more behind him. There's no doubt that he's going to be great in this industry. There's no doubt that he's going to have a wonderful match with Finn, whether it ends cleanly or not. We're not saying that we don't like him or that he's bad.
I just want to see his personality in something other than a stiff backstage interview.
Yeah, let's see. I hope that he's one of the people that's covered in breaking ground, because in the promo that they showed during
it, yeah.
But they should also be able to push people without breaking ground to
I
help
agree.
them. And
but
we've seen a lot of those.
Point.
We've seen a lot of the things like Bailey. We saw a package on her, and we get these packages, the Fergal Devitt package. Like, we get those things. So can they do that with Apollo?
I would love to. I would honestly love to. I was ecstatic when they signed him. It's still amazing. When seeing him debut in Brooklyn was a privilege and a thrill. We want to see the man that everybody loves. We're not hating on Apollo. We're doing the same thing that we do for every other person that we're thinking critically of.
Constructive criticism.
Yes, we're doing the same thing for Dana Brooke. We're doing the same thing for Baron Corbin. We're doing the same thing that we did for Bull. We're doing the same thing even for Dillinger, even for Jason Jordan. We've said it countless times for countless superstars. I almost said Terry Crews. Apollo Crews.
Terry Crews.
Yeah, which was great on Vince's part. Apollo Crews is no different. We want to see him succeed. And
I think he will.
And I think so too.
He has a long career.
I personally just want to know more about the guy so that I can understand him and empathize and sympathize with him.
Is it going to be enough, though, to counteract them sort of pushing him into the limelight? Is there enough there that you could have the people get behind?
I think that's the thing, is with all of these monster folk or all of the people that win like constantly, we don't know much about them other than that they show up, kick ass, and leave.
Yeah.
So far.
I was just saying, like, we've said this weeks in and weeks out about Apollo Crews. If there was just something wrong with him, like if he had some sort of flaw, like something that makes him more relatable. You're laughing out.
There's one thing that keeps popping into my mind. I mean, what if he was the, undersized junk guy?
What? Oh.
One flaw.
That's not what I was thinking. I mean, like, I was thinking even without learning more about his personality, if he's walking down to the ring and he's on the ramp and accidentally trips and falls and then does a kip up, like, and laughs it off, like something like that, where he's just not so perfect, because when you're that perfect, people want to hate you.
Yeah.
That's and do we think he's gonna win, or do we think he's gonna lose?
I think he's going to lose.
Yeah, so soon.
And how helpful are losses compared to wins?
If he looks good during that match.
He's looked good during every match.
Yeah. But if he looks good against Finn Balor, the champion,
for him.
Yeah.
I think that match
is going to be
physically
incredible.
I can't wait.
Oh my gosh.
And we did get a confirmation from the chat that it did not happen during the tapings. So,
we can-
Spoiler
so-
alert.
so as of right now, it's going to be. It
Well,
looks
that
like
was
it's
sort
going
of
to
a
be takeover.
spoiler in its.
There might also be a
absence
couple of
something.
extra weeks that they have. Actually,
They're doing back-to-back tapings. I think the next taping is like next week.
Okay.
Next Thursday.
So
Working hard.
there's still a chance that it can happen.
Well, I think this is a time of year where they have to do a ton of tapings in a row because
Right.
it lead up to
Holidays and
holidays.
touring.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So overall, great show.
So, I mean, it's a sort of a setup show.
Yes, that's the first
Restart.
one. And next week, it's been confirmed by WWE that James Storm is going to be debuting next week. So it'll be interesting to see if they shot any extra backstage stuff with him in terms of interviews and stuff.
Yeah. There are some other things that WWE announced recently.
You mean news and gossip?
No need for the
What?
drop.
Fine, I guess not. That's fine.
AfterBuzz TV News.
You have some news.
No, you have some news.
What?
I never queued news up. You said that there was stuff to talk about.
Well, there is. Did you not look it up? Okay.
See, this is why we have to meet before
Sami
the show.
Zayn is confirmed for Evolve.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about it, so talk
Well, I
about
just
it.
wanted to talk
Oh,
about it. I don't
yeah,
know
that's
the
right.
exact
They're-
details.
they're doing
but
that.
they're doing some sort of crossover where I saw on WWE.com they were promoting several of the guys at Evolve that they thought that wrestling fans should know.
Yeah, one of whom's a current Hollywood champion in Tim Thatcher.
Yeah.
Hell of a wrestler.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
And such a nice dude. Who else was on there? Zach Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
Jr.
Zack Sabre
Big
Jr.
surprise.
and handful of others.
Say again?
Ooh.
Ethan Page,
Okay.
Ethan Page, Johnny
Oh.
Gargano, Zack Sabre Jr.
Gargano again? It's
Yeah,
not deadly
he was
surprise.
just like, this is some guy you
Yeah.
saw on NXT. Look where he comes from.
So does that mean more crossovers between Evolve talent and NXT?
What do you imagine?
Yeah.
It's the next logical step.
It's just, I think it's also more just acknowledgement of the world outside of WWE, which is great. I mean, you can't.
But they're the universe.
Shut up. You have to acknowledge where your stars of today and tomorrow came from, like your Uha Nations, like your Kevin Steens, like your what was Sami Zayn's name on the Indies? Was he just Sami Zayn?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
He was
generic.
generic wrestler number 1.
That's what he
Yeah.
was. He was generic wrestler
That's
number
what it
one.
was.
And I hope we find out what happened to El Generico. I think he retired.
He's running a orphanage.
Is that
in
what it is?
Mexico. Yes.
What a wonderful man.
He's a great example.
I
of what you do
agree with that.
with your
So I
time
think
away.
taking the advantage to kind of it helps elevate other people, sort of like how when they release people and they go out into the world and kind of reteach that WWE style to the indies, it kind of elevates everybody.
Yes, it does.
I think this is something else that would help do that as well.
It's yeah.
My
Pretty
phone
much.
is just
I don't know.
broken.
Spread it like a disease.
That's a terrible thing to say.
Like
You sicko.
HPV.
Speaking
It's
of
fun to spread.
Speaking of breaking ground, they did. The network did shoot at ACW this past week. Bailey went to go see Aaron
Solo.
and
Oh, yeah.
friend of the show Carlo Cannon, who was
Wrestled there.
Yeah, he was at ACW that night. He's like, I talked to him last week. He's like, I think I might be on the network. And I was like, it's like, oh, that's great.
Crikey!
No, why do you always go to Crikey and Barbie shrimping?
Yes, Bird.
Come on, Carlo. Let's go, Carlo.
Fosters.
Oh, don't do that.
They'll like punish you physically for any sort
Yeah,
of
that's
justice.
that's American Australian.
That's American
in this.
for Australian bear.
Yeah. There was also rumors. There's a casting notice put out for an NXT kids show to be a short on YouTube. They've been toying with it for a little while.
Yeah.
I think they were casting for
It's literally called
7
NXT Kids.
NXT Kids. It was something for 7 to 14, I believe. And they're gonna have kids who commentate over matches with Corey Graves.
I saw the pilot they did for that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
So
don't know.
for those who don't know, there's going to be commentary over matches with Corey Graves by
Corey
kids,
Graves and 2 kids.
as well as backstage interviews done
Yeah,
by
there's-
kids.
there's a kid who
and
does
there's a
interviews.
rumor that our friend Izzy Is he? What? No. What am I braining? I'm braining.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
I'm right.
Is
God.
he?
Sorry, that freaked me out. It is going to be heavily featured on the show.
That's cool.
Yeah. Because I mean, hell,
So it all sets up. Of course, the bigger picture reveals itself.
yeah.
Usually being the cornerstone of a new
What if
thing.
she was a plant the entire time to get this show like off the ground?
Hey,
And pitch it to kids.
those tears looked real 2 weeks ago, man. I'm happy about that. Whether she's a plant or not, she can make herself cry like that. She's allowed to do whatever she wants.
Yeah. And then also we know that Billy Gunn was one of the biggest forces in getting James Storm into WWE. He still hasn't signed a contract because they're still really good friends from back in TNA.
Okay.
But
right.
TNA was offering him not a lot of money because they can't, but some power when it comes to running the business. But I don't think they're going to do that.
What
And-
business is there left to run at this point?
Seriously. And lastly, we had a couple of cuts. Cal Bishop and Devin Taylor were both released this past week from NXT. We wish them both the best. Maybe Devin just couldn't handle getting her head patted. And that was it. Enough was enough, and it was time for a change. That was for you, James.
Playtime was over.
Boo! But that's what we have for news and gossip. Do we have any idea on where we would want the brand to go from here?
I think there's been some rumors about signings recently.
Yeah, I mean, all the Evolve talent, everybody with
Well,
the mention of all the Evolves, everybody's going, "Whoa, is this a sighting? Is
Yeah.
this gonna happen?" Well, cool.
Yeah.
You never know.
We'll see. NXT is growing. People.
And so are we.
Does Evolve still follow their like point system format?
Have no idea.
I don't have
I
the
haven't
slightest-
followed
See, I'm
Evolve
a
in a long
professional
time.
wrestler. I don't watch wrestling.
And I just have no life.
Right.
I'm a wrestling professional.
Right.
That's the gimmick. Hey, this isn't soda.
Anything else we want to talk about this week?
Well, is there any other superstars? We do have some time. Is there any
Weird. It was a
We-
cluster F at the end.
It was
That's the
3
part.
matches.
Blew through it.
It was 3 matches, and one of those matches
We
had
breezed
nothing.
through today's
Hey.
NXT after show.
So why don't we talk about Takeover? Is there any one match from this one show, or as a blowout from NXT Takeover Respect, that you would want to see at Takeover UK?
Like
Takeover Wembley.
some sort of grudge type.
Anything? Is there any match, given the roster that we have right now and the events of this show, that you would want to see?
Would like to revisit something that we pitched a couple months ago.
Bring it.
Tyler Breeze, one night only, with William Regal.
Yeah. That's still possible. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility at this point.
Regal could reprimand him for the Samoa Joe thing and put them in a match, and then that could
And
lead to
you
something
have
else.
months to build up to it where Tyler can just get more and more annoying, getting more and more frustrated with losing matches, and then requesting to be put in certain situations, maybe requesting a title match, and Regal says, no, you don't deserve it. You have not won in a while. You keep on making these demands, and frankly, you're not one of the top talent anymore, so stop making them. And then they get into an altercation, and thus
And it could be
sets
Regal's
up a
last match.
That could be good. Yeah.
I would like to see Martin Stone finally get like a fair shake and having like a good, solid match to show.
Yeah, that'd be great.
In front of a home crowd, that'd be
Exactly.
good.
He would. I would love for him to fight, and more than just the local shows, or
Yeah.
the non-televised shows rather.
Maybe like him and Solomon Crow.
Yeah, Solomon Crow's another guy. He wasn't even in the Rumble.
Yeah, they might be working on him for. I mean, well, he was behind manning the console for Apollo Crews.
Right. Actually, Apollo Crews is big enough that Solomon Crow could probably fit inside him like a
Krang.
suit.
Like Krang.
Like Krang.
Like Krang.
Or like one of the aliens in Men in Black.
Yeah, that'd work.
Absolutely. That'd be great. I actually want to see Bull Dempsey versus Ty Dillinger. That's what I want to see.
Any gimmick?
just perfect 10 versus bullfit.
The Tyler Breeze versus Bull wasn't long enough. That feud.
No, I totally agree.
So
cut way too short.
Obviously, they got a plan for Breeze. Second best is Ty Dillinger because they're pretty close in gimmick. You put him against Bull Dempsey, that'd be just an explosion of character. It'd be great. I'd definitely like to see that.
Who do you? Oh, go ahead.
Well, the thing in the topic that I brought up, I would like to see Dash and Dawson versus the Vaudevillains in a Texas Tornado tag. So all four are in the ring at the same time, and first decision calls it, because that way you'll get to see the double teaming of Dash and Dawson, and you've seen it kind of with the Vaudevillains, but
Right.
they you don't see them working together unless it's like the final move.
Right. I mean, they're so good individually. They don't actually come together as often. That could be really interesting. I was actually rewatching some ECW, and they had their matches are mostly Tornado.
Yeah.
And it just sort of brought about a more interesting dynamic.
Yeah, it's a different tag team dynamic, and I think I would love to see that for a tag team title match in general.
Well,
Your question, ma'am.
we used to do questions on the show, and
We
I
used
want
to.
to open
We
this up
used
to the people who are listening or watching at home. I want to ask for next week, who do you want to see Nia Jax feud with first?
Feud with? Mm-hmm. Not necessarily singles matches.
Not
but
singles matches,
full-blown
a full-blown
feud.
feud.
Depends on her character.
Can we talk about her gear for a second?
We already did.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Why?
I'm late.
Shame
You like it, or
I think it just needs to be different colors. I wasn't feeling the color pattern,
it was blue and gold,
Blue and
right?
gold. Yeah.
but like the design.
I liked it.
graphics,
I think it was okay. I mean, granted, the sheen on the material itself lends to a bit of a shadow, and you don't necessarily want shadows if you're a bigger person. But all the same, I think it fit her pretty well.
Yeah, no, it fit her great.
I do like the armor that we've
The
seen
armor
before.
was cool for
Right.
the local matches.
Over armor.
Over armor. Right.
Yeah, it works. What was the question you wanted to ask to the folks?
Who would they like to see?
Nia
feud with
Jax?
Nia
That was
Jax,
my
yeah.
brain.
Nia
just
Jax,
farted.
I really think it'd be good for her to face Asuka. Granted, that's a long idea.
That's a slow burn.
It's a slow burn and a good build. They both have to have matches where they just start running over people so that they gain enough momentum so that when they finally clash, it'll be a huge
Yeah, it depends
clash.
on if she's a face or not. I think so, because we don't have too many big faces right now other than Bayley
It would. I mean, if
and Asuka.
it was gonna be Asuka, she'd obviously have to go heel because Asuka's the underdog, having the size disadvantage, but a higher skill advantage. So it'd essentially be her trying to outmaneuver Nia Jax, who has the obvious size advantage.
Yeah,
That'd be the simplest possible way to call that. Just go around her. Just keep running around her until finally something works or nothing works, and Nia Jax just overthrows her, but eventually she gets it back. And yeah,
I'll actually say Eva Marie, just because if they have worked together so closely on,
She can carry her through the match. Literally.
yes,
with one hand.
so that could be a way to make both of them look better. Also, you get the satisfaction. You can build to the satisfaction of seeing Nia Jax just tear through Eva Marie.
Actually, yeah. I mean, we sort of had it with Dana Brooke and Asuka. Now you can do it with Eva Marie and Nia Jax, and kind of the crowd gets their rocks off on the brutality.
And then Eva Marie can also be like, "This isn't fair," sort of a thing, and just whine and complain to the referee and all of that.
Yeah.
But I'm so pretty. Die!
I want to see, and this is not necessarily with Nia Jax, I want to see Natty come back down for maybe one or two matches.
But now that she's NBC,
I know. She's one of those people that I feel like she would do it.
just anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I got some extra time. TJ's hurting.
True.
And that's where
lives in
they're
Florida
yeah, they
anyways.
live in Florida,
Yeah.
so
That would be a good matchup. Natty's got some power. She's no slouch in the size department.
Yeah.
So I think
and
she
more.
can get Nia Jax
It could be a
money.
dynasty match again.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the Anoa'i's and
Yeah.
the Hearts.
Well,
I
let us-
think,
oh.
sorry.
James, please.
I think blue pants and do like a 1, 2, 3
No.
kid type.
No.
Blue pants.
Too early for Nia.
Let us know who you want to see Nia Jax's face, and feel free to comment on any of the other things that we talked about tonight in the YouTube comments. Also tweet us using the hashtag ABTVNXT. Until next week, continue the conversation. Where can they find you guys?
Well, you can find me on the Twitter at TrueHobo. Is not where you buy the shirt. NXT.Spreadshirt.com is where you buy the shirt. I'll be wrestling tomorrow at Brian Kendrick's WPW Wrestling Pro Wrestling, but it won't be exactly me. It'll be a spooky version of me. More than that, I cannot tell you. You will have to watch.
Halloween hobo?
Maybe.
Oh, ooh, crazy. You can find me on Twitter at SoapboxMark, and also here at AfterBuzz TV and our sister network Popcorn Talk. I do video game movie anatomy. We just did a watch-along for Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace for Jedi Alliance. So if you want to watch the movie with a fun new commentary track that you never had before, go on to Popcorn Talk's iTunes and download it. It's called Watch-alongs. It was a lot of fun to have. No booze was flowing, but it was there. And as Hobo said, if you hit up nxteam.spreadshirt.com, you can get stuff like there's a Smart shirt that's like Enzo's shirt. There's an I Am a Kathy Kelly guy or I Am a Kathy Kelly girl shirt that you can pick up. A lot of fun stuff there. Hug Bailey Hug. There's some ideas that we were throwing around for
Actually,
for
no,
some
we have
new
to make a
ones.
Solomon Krang shirt.
Yeah, Solomon Krang. Oh, God. What about you, Miss Kathy Kelly?
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelly, on Instagram at Kathy Kelly. I also have a new episode of Chatting with Kathy with Daria Baronato.
Hey, friend of the show.
Going up tonight. And, of course, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at AfterBuzz TV. Subscribe to our show, and we will see you again for another NXT After Show next week.
Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.